Island
Popping
style.
on your TV.
And now, urban and island style.
It's time for Urban and Island Style. Auntie
Island style.
Urban and Island
Urban
Style.
and island style.
Get ready. Auntie Taz.
Island style. Urban and island style. Island style. Urban and island style. Urban and island style.
Popping on the TV, Urban Island Style. La 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 la. Auntie Taz. La 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 la. Auntie Taz. Wicked and wild. Popping on your TV, Urban Island Style.
Urban and island style. Urban and island style.
Urban Island Style.
Urban and island style.
Wicked and wild. Popping on the TV, Urban Island Style.
Urban and island style. Urban and island style. Urban and island style.
Urban Island Style.
Urban and island style.
Urban and
Urban
Island
and
Style.
island.
Aloha! Welcome back to Urban and Island Style. I'm your host, Auntie Taz. Today we have an exciting show for you. We're going to hear some melodies from the enchanting Shea Derrick, along with her pianist, Brent Elberg. And then we're going to come back and talk story with Shea and learn more about what it means to be a music mogul on Maui. So, stay tuned. We'll be right back with Shea Derrick. Ow!
Thank you for joining us on Urban and Island Style, the show with your host, Auntie Taz. Every episode, Auntie Taz dives into a fun or informative video that matters to you, the inspired, covering topics from hair, fashion, island activities, business concepts, and more. And now, here is Auntie Taz.
Aloha, everybody. Welcome back to Urban and Island Style. I'm your host, Auntie Taz. Today in the studio, we have the elegant, the endearing, the soulful, musical fundraiser, speaker, singer, songwriter, voice coach, Miss Shea Derrick. Welcome, Shea, to the show.
Thank you.
Yay. Hi, Shea.
Hi, Taz.
I'm so happy that you're here.
Thanks for having me.
Yes, thanks for joining us. So, I remember coming up to Kono's on Sunday in Kihei just to hear you sing. It was like the best thing to do on Maui in 2018, 2019?
A long while ago.
Yes, and you had your Motown going.
Yeah.
And I remember even you came and did a show right after the flood thing in Louisiana. Do you remember that?
I don't. Oh my gosh.
You sung this song called "I'll Be There,"
Oh,
and I was
yes,
so
yes.
touched by your
Yes,
voice
yes,
that
yes.
I got up and started.
That was
moving.
your birthday. It was your birthday, actually.
Was that my
It was your birthday. And you requested we sing that song, and then, yeah, you did hula. It was very pretty.
Oh, that was so nice.
Yes.
Right. So
It was a good birthday.
I know, right? So appreciative of that. Would you please tell the audience here who is Shea Derrick?
Well, I am originally from Texas. I escaped during the Bush years. And my husband has some friends that moved here to Maui 12 and a half years ago, and this has been home ever since. And I have been singing since I was a very little girl. I just remember singing. Whitney Houston was my everything. She was the reason why I wanted to become a singer. And so I would just turn on Whitney, sing in my hairbrush, and then my mom was like, "Oh, you should sing at church." And so then she started, having me sing at church. And then she was like, "Oh, you should sing." My mom was definitely always pushing me. And I was I liked singing to myself and to my friends, but it took me a long time to start singing in public and feeling comfortable singing in public. But that's pretty much who I am, little brown girl from Texas, and just with a dream, and just kept going, and I'm glad that I finally ended up here, though, because this is Maui is amazing. It's home, and I'm never leaving. They finally stopped asking me in Texas, you ain't never coming home? I ain't never coming home. I ain't never coming back.
Right.
This is home. This is
I
it.
ain't mad at you. I don't blame you. Same thing here. So you said you've been singing basically since you were young. So you kind of discovered music, as an infant?
No, I was like, I don't know, my mom said I would just be, jumping on the bed, singing along to songs. I remember my first memory of like hearing a song and singing along was Whitney Houston, and so that was definitely what inspired me. But my mom played bass, and then my dad also sings. So it's in my blood, it's in my family, and so I just luckily my parents encouraged me to keep going, keep doing it.
What was your favorite Whitney Houston song? Just curious.
Oh gosh, The Greatest Love of All.
Oh, I love that song.
But I love all of her songs. I know all the hits, every single word. But yeah, I believe the children are our
the future.
That's right.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So is it safe to say you've always done music? Did you ever have any other type of employment other than outside of music?
Well, of course, because unless you're famous, it's hard to make a living doing music. And so, but I just when I went to school in Texas, I went to school for audio engineering because I wanted to understand what was going on inside the booth when we're recording songs and the recording process. And so the dean of that school really taught us that, hey, there are so many different avenues that you can make a living doing music. It might not necessarily be, you're on stage singing, but there are plenty of avenues in the music industry to find work. But so that's what I always wanted to do, but it took me a while to get to here where I'm at now. So, but I definitely had other jobs. Eventually I was in like property management, and then now whenever gigs are slow, I've been caregiving. So, I sing to clients whenever if they're feeling up to it, then I'll sing to them if they want a song.
Do they like request stuff?
I had one client with liver disease, and he wanted me just to sing all R&B soul tunes to him. So I would sing him a couple songs a night before he would go to bed. So all his favorites. So
I know. I used to love when you sang
Rev.
Respect.
Rev, remember Rev? Do you remember Rev? Oh, okay, never mind. Okay.
I used to love Respect. When you would sing that. Oh, I love all the songs, but you really get in there.
Thank you.
So what was your, okay, so let me rewind. Born in Texas, around what age did you actually come to Maui? What brought you here to Maui?
My husband had some friends that moved here in 2008 when the crash. So I left Texas, went to LA. I met my husband there, and then in 2008 when the crash happened, so they started laying people off, and so his friends moved here, and they just kept telling us how amazing it was. Just kept working on us for 2 years. Like, you got to come to Maui. You got to come to Maui. It's amazing. And finally, what clicked for us was them saying, why are we waiting to enjoy life when we're older? Like, oh, you get a job, and then you retire, and then you start living your life. He's like, no, why can't we do that now, at a younger age before, we're too old to enjoy life. So, and then finally it just clicked with us. And so I was 33 when we moved here. And so, but that was, 12 and a half years ago. So,
wow.
Yeah.
So similar experience for me. I also, it's like I kind of bucked against the traditional mindset of, oh, you get out of school, you work, pay off the student loans or whatever, and then
get married, have the kids,
and then you save up so that you can have a life after you've done all this stuff in what I would consider your prime time years, which is when you're young and vibrant, and your mind is, absorbing so much, you're building confidence, you have more choices. And I was like, I want to do that
and where
first.
Are you from?
I'm from Kansas City. It's where I was born. But I was raised in St. Louis. So Kansas City, Missouri, raised in St. Louis, Missouri.
I could hear the South in there just a little bit.
Yeah, wait a minute. Yes.
When you said buck.
True. So that's great. I'm glad that you decided to follow your heart and that intuition to go ahead and live now.
Yeah, you
live
too.
now. I'm so happy because one thing you don't know is back at the time when you were singing, that was the only thing that I really had to do that was nice, that would actually pour into my spirit, that would allow me to connect to my inner child, if you will, because I worked and worked and worked. Single person here is expensive.
Yes, it is.
If you miss a beat, you could definitely end up in the transient community, which I did not want to return to. I actually had to live outside for like 30 days shortly after I got
we
here.
were homeless too for a while when we first moved here.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't think we're alone, and I think a lot of people, struggle in the beginning till you find your groove, and like everybody says, either Mama Maui's gonna accept you or chew you up and spit you out. And so, so it's, if you can make it work, and we made it work. So, and here we are.
I always like to say too, or in my experience, Maui kind of challenges you. Like you have to face yourself, right?
Yeah,
For me, what that looked like is coming to terms with the fact that it's okay to need help. And it's okay to not only ask for it, but even more so, it's okay to receive it, because all help is not attached to an agenda. Some is.
That's true.
For sure.
That's true.
So when I was homeless, I got to tell you this story. I used to stay in the beach parks. So I worked for the cruise line. First, I had a studio apartment in Wailuku, paid for 6 months. I was on unemployment because that's a union job. When I got to my last month, I had like $1,000 left. And I said, okay, I can pay $1,000 on the rent, or I could take this $1,000, I could go out and create what I call a beach bungalow.
Nice.
Right, and figure out how to turn whatever the rest of the money was into more. So that's what I did. I went to Walmart. I got me a Coleman tent. I got me an air mattress.
Same thing.
I got
sleeping in the bed of the truck. Yeah, you make it work. You make it work. Yes,
and then, so with that though, in the beach parks, like I was at Thousand Peaks and Kanaha Beach Park, back and forth, and they both have days where they clean up.
Right.
So when they clean up, you can't be there.
Right.
So I would go back and forth. Anyway, I was at Kanaha Beach one time and hungry, didn't have enough food. I was with a friend there, and that friend gave my food away to this little girl. I only had like a box of Cheez-Its. That was it. And it was given away. And I lost my mind, right? I was really, what do you do?
Yeah, yeah.
So I'm in my tent crying and stuff because I don't know what I'm gonna do. All of a sudden, I hear, Auntie, outside the tent. And I'm like, oh my gosh, now I gotta get myself together. This is obviously a child. I open the little zipper thing, and the little girl sticks her hands out with a plate full of food. Her family was cooking in the park. And they must have hurt. I'm sure they might have hurt me because I got hysterical for a second.
Right.
So that was like my transition moment on Maui, just being at peace with knowing I cannot do it all by myself.
Right.
Couldn't have told me that when I was younger. And I was about 24.
Wow.
At that point.
Was this before I met you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, this is 2007.
Oh, wow. So how long have you been here?
Wait, I'm sorry. That's wrong. I was about 26. Yeah, 2007. I've been here since 2007.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
So right before you. And stock market crash 2008.
Right. So
transition.
Yeah. I feel that. I feel that story hard because it was like, we were staying with our friends. We didn't know. It was like, okay, we got to get out of here. We don't know where we're gonna go. We're on our last little bit of money. I think it was like $500 or something. And then we stayed. I can't think of that. I think we were staying at the beach at Grandma's over there on the west side. And so, and then we had answered a couple of, I didn't know. I was like, what's a woofer? And so
what is a woofer?
A woofer. So you go and you work on someone's land, and they usually let you live there.
Yeah, a lot of people have done that.
Yeah. So then we were like, what's a woofer? So we answered a couple ads on Craigslist, and we were homeless for a few days, and then somebody called, and it was in Kaupo, and so our friends were like, don't go to Kaupo. It's like way over there, And I was just like, well everything's close to me because we were used to coming from LA. anyway, so we got out to Kaupo, and it was like you said, like Maui definitely taught us like what is a need, what is necessary, what's a desire, what you can live without, what you really need to survive, which is, you know, food, love, and water.
That's right. Love, yeah, and you know, it's interesting you say that because I was experiencing a deficit, so that brings me back to when I first met your music. The love that's in your voice is transferred over a chord.
Thanks.
In harmonically or a cappella, you know? And it really healed me. Like I would come there for that, and it would help me get through the next however many days until the next time I would see you. So thank you for your contribution.
Thank you.
Yes,
thank you. Because your energy, you're always up. It was like you remind me of my little sister, where you're just like, hey, life of the party, and just coming through with your good vibes. And so I always appreciated seeing your face there and your support. So thank you.
Oh, thank you, Shea. When would you say you started seeing success in your business with music? When did you decide to make it a business, and then when did you start actually seeing success?
When I moved here, so I had been singing in cover bands. Started singing in cover bands when I was 18 back in Dallas. So I did it in Texas, and then I moved to LA, sang in cover bands in LA. And after all those bands I sang in, I decided that I wanted to be the band leader. And just be in control of what we sing, where we're gonna sing. And so I started it when I moved here, but it was really like, it was hard in the beginning because it's definitely male-dominated industry. And so
music is male dominated, really.
And you know, and all the cover bands I sang in, it was like all the band leaders were men, and so it was just kind of like when I started my band here, it definitely was a challenge because it was hard to get. Guys work differently than women.
For sure.
And so, you know, men, you know, it was just kind of like I would like asking everybody, like, what do you think we should do? And not really, you know, because I was still learning, like, what do you think we should do? I don't know. And I was just indecisive. And so it was, and it's just gaining respect. Like, I don't play an instrument anymore, and I wish I had stuck with it. And so it was just that, you know, like, well, you don't play an instrument, and I can't communicate with the band saying, you know, this is a C sharp or play this an A and blah 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 blah. But I know that I'm good at what I do, which is sing and you know, captivate the audience and interact and so I finally, it took me a while to get a cohesive group of guys that love and respect each other and me and what I'm trying to do. And so I saw, to answer the question, long story short, I started seeing success within the last, I'd say, 3 to 4 years, when I really put my energy, all of my time. I stopped doing caregiving for a while so I could just focus solely on Full Flavor and my small business. And then that's when I really started seeing success. It's like really like all the time you put into it, you get out of it. So
right. So that's the old saying, right? You get into something or get out of something what you put into it.
It's
nice.
true.
Now, when you said that, it reminded me. There was a man named Omar who used to do the Om Zone.
So that's how I got hooked up with that gig that you met me at on Sundays.
I was going to say that
was Omar's gig.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. So Omar, he's the one who was doing. It was what was the Sundays? They were called. Oh gosh, Sunset Soul Sessions or something like that on Sundays. And so he had a vision and started it, and it was creating a place for like it's all African American music, and everybody's welcome, but it was like a focus on African American artists, music, entertainment. And but yeah, Omar started this because he had his show on the Om Zone. Yes.
The Om Zone.
Yes. So
yes, R.I.P. to Omar.
Yeah.
Yeah. I also used that's my balance. I'm Gemini. So oddly enough, that was my balance as far as the love I was seeking that only we can give to each other. And by we, I just mean like-minded people.
Gotcha.
Omar was the masculine, and you were the feminine.
Thanks,
that music to bridge and keep me connected to, you know, our music here on Maui, because you couldn't find it anywhere else.
And I really would like to start that again, like do a soul session type thing again. So I'm working on that, but I'm just trying to find like the right venue, because the venue Kono's is no more. It's under new management. So just trying to find another space for that.
Sure.
So.
You know what? Maybe it's time to do a Juneteenth celebration.
It's coming. Juneteenth 2023 is going to be off the chain.
Yeah?
Yes. I already started planning for it. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm excited for that.
I would love to be involved.
Yes, definitely.
Okay.
Absolutely, 1,000%. Yes, I've definitely started reaching out to artists already and contacting people and getting it all squared away. So yeah, 2023 is going to be like, pow. I'm excited for that.
Okay.
Oh, you want to turn this up?
And again.
So cute. I love it.
Oh, my nails, I forgot.
Oh, you want to turn this up?
And again.
You cute. You like your island braid style?
I do. I love them.
Mary.
Would you say that, you know, the male dominance in your industry is the biggest challenge, or are there any issues related to your field that you're passionate about?
Yes. So currently with booking, so I do a lot of to pay the bills, corporate events and weddings. And it's just been kind of lopsided as far as in the corporate world, as far as payment goes, and the artists are not really getting the pay that they deserve and what's fair and what they should be making for all of the work that they do. And so I started I chickened out. I was like, I'm gonna do it, and then I would chicken out starting my own entertainment booking company. And so I'm just kind of getting that off I'm still nurturing Full Flavor and that business, but now I'm trying to expand and start my entertainment booking company business. And so because I know from experience that, you know, it's when these big corporate companies are coming to Maui, you know, there's so much money involved, and where the artists just aren't getting their fair share. And I just want to teach people, especially the young upcomers, or if you're working a bar gig and you're like, I want to do corporate, because you know we should be able to pay our bills with it.
Sure.
And so then I just want to make sure that that everybody's paying their fair share, and that that there's enough money coming in that the artists can get paid what they should be getting paid, what they want and desire, and be able to pay their bills and not have to have 2, 3, 4 extra side hustles, instead of being able to just fully play music and pay your bills. And so that's a thing that
The biggest challenge.
that's a challenge. The bar scene, they hardly pay, and that's also got to change. And then with corporate, they should be paying more, and that's what I'm working towards for all of us.
So if you believe in speaking things into existence, can you paint a picture for me now of what the perfect scenario would be for someone of your caliber in terms of the booking process and all of the features and benefits that come with it? Like, what would be included if you could have it your way? What are your expectations?
That's a good question. The expectation is the artist shows up for the event. There's a green room. There's hot food in the green room, not chips. I mean, I'll take the chips too, but a hot meal.
Yes.
Water, drinks, a mirror, and just and the green room be close to sometimes we'll show up to these gigs, we're performing way over here on the lawn, and then our green room is like, we have a 10-minute break, and it literally takes 8 minutes to get to the green room and back. So I know, and I feel like as I'm talking, I sound like I sound like a jerk, but
you don't
it
at all.
makes a difference.
But you know what? Sometimes people don't know because people
True.
don't say. Like,
That's true.
Do you have a writer?
That's true. I do.
That
I do
spells
now.
that out.
I do now.
Right.
But it took me. But that's another thing that I had to learn. There was no one there to tell me about these things, and then just experiencing those, playing with other bands where it was like, oh, hey, we're showing up, and then we don't have the things that we need, so we can put on a good show. But that's something that so now that I've learned all of this information, that's what I will be expecting to receive
Sure.
for my artists.
Absolutely.
And so just like, just basic decency, food
Yeah.
and water and respect.
Yeah.
And that's pretty much that's what we're fighting for, and just upping the pay.
Sure.
That's it.
And you
That's it.
deserve it. And, I think this is a teachable moment. So if you would please, because I know what a writer is, you know what a writer is.
I do.
But it's possible that someone listening could learn from this conversation.
That's true.
So would you be able to share with our audience what a writer is and what is it for?
So there's in music industry with the bands, there's two writers that you need. So you would need a tech writer. So your tech writer would be like, for instance, today showing up for this show. So it was myself and my keyboard player. So then we would need, for the tech writer, I need a microphone and a mic stand, and then also a floor monitor. And then for my keyboard player, he would also, if he was singing, he would need a microphone as well. So those things that you would need to be able to show up for your performance. And then also, if you're traveling out of town, your tech writer, the engineer that's doing sound for you for that gig, they're going to ask for that tech writer because they need to, like for me, I'm a singer, I just show up. So I expect a microphone, mic stand, all of that to be there for me. My keyboard player, he would bring his keyboard, but then he would need a stand for his keyboards, a double keyboard stand. He would need a stand for his music. And so you have to make a tech writer, a very detailed tech writer. And then your writer would be the things like I asked or I said previously for the dressing room. Or your green room. So I need a green room, we need plenty of water, we need chairs. Sometimes we'll show up to gigs and there's no chairs for us to, like when we're resting between sets and we're just standing around.
Oh my gosh.
Yes. So I have to say these things. We need chairs. Yeah. We need a room. We need a room with AC, please. And then and food. And some, in the beginning when I was like, okay, food, wasn't specific, and so I would show up and there would be chips and crackers and cookies. Well, technically that is food. But if we're there for a 4-hour event and we're showing up an hour beforehand and then it takes us an hour, like we're completely not getting food. And especially if there's food there for everyone to enjoy, tons and tons and tons of food at these corporate events. And then they're throwing.
And you don't go up and get some?
Well, because we're not allowed to. Yes.
Okay.
So, and especially when there's all this food, they have all these buffets, and at the end of the night, they're throwing food away in front of us.
That's why I'm like, oh my gosh.
So that's not okay, guys. So that's on the writer. Like it needs to be a hot meal. If you don't want us to go out and fraternize with the guests, bring us the food. That's fine. That'll work. But so you want to put those things in your writer and just make sure that you and your team are taken care of. Water, chairs, AC, a mirror for us girls, or whoever needs to put on makeup. And so to make sure you're just very detailed in the writers too.
So I guess summarizing, a writer is basically a written needs assessment for the talent.
Very, very good.
Which highlights the personal needs, the physical needs, the equipment, location information, anything else that is required to put on the best show.
Exactly.
Okay, so that's good. Yes. And I hope that helps someone out there that may be in the entertainment industry that doesn't have that in place. You heard it from Shea Derrick. She is actually in my opinion, one of the best productions, like a inclusive show that comes with everything that I've personally seen on Maui for the type of music that I like to hear.
Thank you.
So I love that about you, and good job with that.
Thank you.
And then also, I'm learning too, because this is new for me. I'm working
Right,
on
right.
becoming
In
better
production,
at it.
yes,
And
yes.
so, we'll make sure you get some food.
Yeah.
That's not a problem. But I did have a lot of that.
I
other
ate
stuff
before I
together.
came. I ate before I came.
other stuff.
And it's hard for me to eat before, like when I sing, but anyway, but thank you. But no, I definitely wasn't expecting food today.
Things can happen.
Thank you.
So let's see. If you could go back and give your 18-year-old self a piece of advice, what would it be? Like, what would you tell her that would help shape her into becoming the you that you now are, or the you that you're still working on becoming?
That's a good question. I would say be confident and trust yourself, and practice. Never keep practicing your flute. Keep practicing the drums and the piano, because I forgot how to play those instruments, and I used to play those instruments so well. So that's what I would say. I would definitely say just keep practicing and never let go of that, because at one point I was like, oh, should I be a music teacher? But then I didn't get my degree, so I felt like all insecure about it. So finish school, keep practicing your instruments, and be confident. And we'll just keep working hard. That's what I would say to her.
Mm-hmm. You want to know something? Oddly enough, like I have yet to see an opportunity where any of my credentials on my resume actually got me the job. So I would just encourage you to know that, as you know, you accomplished everything maybe without that, but it's not required. It's the love and the energy that you show up with that people are gravitating towards more than paperwork, because who reads?
That's true.
Who reads anymore?
It's true.
Right?
It's true. And I definitely dabbled in it. I was giving lessons to my friends' kids for a while. And then I had this amazing student, Amazon. I need to call her. Shout out, Amazon. What up, girl?
Amazon.
And so I definitely
love
she's the best. She's a beautiful voice too. Beautiful, so talented. But yeah, they didn't care that I had a degree. It was just something, like you said, it's me, my insecurity of feeling like, oh, I'm not good enough.
Yes.
Because I don't have this piece of paper that says that I'm legit. But you're right. You're right.
Yes.
Yeah.
I can identify with that for sure. What does aloha mean to you, Shea?
Oh, wow. Aloha means, it means love, it means respect, it means just the spirit of friendliness, the spirit of, brotherly, sisterly love. Like, I know ohana means family, but, when you hear someone use aloha and the proper way and really coming from the heart, then it's aloha's warm fuzzies also to me.
Warm fuzzies.
Warm fuzzies,
I
yeah.
love that.
Yeah.
Let's see. I think our final question today, and I ask all the guests this question, super important. What is the most important lesson you have learned over time spent on Maui?
My most important lesson over time spent on Maui. Just what the Hawaiian culture is all about is respect and family. And I came with that already from Texas, because that's kind of how I grew up in my neighborhood and with my relatives. So to me, when I got here, it was just like, oh wow, this is familiar. This is community. This is what it's about. Like, when people stop you and talk story, they really do want to know how you're doing. They really do want to know, they want to know about your family. They want to know how you are living, how you're, getting along as a person. They don't care about your 9 to 5 or how much money you're making. None of that matters here. And that's what I have learned, that it's all about love, respect, family, friendships, your ohana, your community, and that's what I love the most about living here. I mean, and the beach. I mean, and nature, of course.
Beach.
But that's what Maui has really. That's what she's provided for me and my husband, and just the love and community that I was looking for, that I knew that I was looking for when I got here. That there was definitely a hole in my heart for that, and she's given it to me. And so I'm super grateful because I have everything I need.
That's amazing. Well, our time has come to a close. Thank you so much for coming to Urban and Island Style.
Urban and Island
Yes,
Style.
to speak to the people and share your beautiful voice.
Thank
and
you.
I'm going to give special thanks to all of the crew, which would be Ben on camera 1, Bud, our production assistant.
Bud. Pew,
We
pew, pew,
had
pew.
Sleepy John doing lights and camera 3. There was Chivo, Steve, and Dave were all here helping
Thank you,
us
guys.
put this
Thank you,
together.
thank you, thank you.
These are the all-stars behind the scenes, and I just want to say thanks to everybody. This has been fun. Thanks again for watching Urban and Island Style, and I'll see you next
Let's
time.
give a shout out for this week.
And the gorgeous Shea Derrick.
Thank you. Thank you.
Aloha, y'all.
Here today to do some jazz and a little bit of art. Aloha, ladies and gentlemen. I am Shea Derrick, and this is Brent Elberg. We are part of the Full Flavor Band, here today to do some jazz and a little bit of R&B for you, and I hope you enjoy. Heaven, I'm in heaven, and my heart beats so that I can hardly speak, and I seem to find the happiness I seek when we're out together, dancing cheek to cheek. Heaven, I'm in heaven, and the cares that hung around me through the week seem to vanish like a gambler's lucky streak when we're out together, dancing cheek to cheek. Oh, I love to climb a mountain and to reach the highest peak, but it doesn't thrill me half as much as dancing cheek to cheek. Oh, I love to go out fishing in a river or a creek, but it doesn't thrill me half as much as dancing cheek to cheek. So dance with me, I want my arms around you. Those charms about you will carry me through to heaven. I'm in heaven, and my heart beats so that I can hardly speak, and I seem to find the happiness I seek when we're out together, dancing cheek to cheek. To climb a mountain and to reach the highest peak, but it doesn't thrill me half as much as dancing cheek to cheek. Oh, I love to go out fishing in a river or a creek, but it doesn't thrill me half as much as dancing cheek to cheek. So dance with me, I want my arms around you. Those charms about you will carry me through heaven. I'm in heart beats so that I can hardly speak. And I seem to find the happiness I seek when we're out together, dancing cheek to cheek. When we're out together, dancing cheek to cheek. When we're out together, dancing cheek to cheek. 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 One of my favorites from Jill Scott. It's called A Long Walk. You're here, I'm pleased, I really dig your company. Your smile, your style, your peace mentality. Lord, have mercy on me, 'cause I was blind, now I can see what a king's supposed to be. And baby, I feel free, come on and go with me. Let's take a long walk around the park after dark and find a spot for us to spark conversation, verbal elation, stimulation, share our situation, temptation, education, relaxation, elevation. Your background, it ain't squeaky clean, and sometimes we all got to swim upstream. You ain't no saint, we all are sinners, but you put your good foot down and make your soul a winner. I respect that. Man, you're so fat, and you're all that, plus supreme, and you're humble. Man, I'm numb, you're feeling, and I can feel everything that you bring. Let's take a long walk around the park after dark and find a spot for us to spark conversation, verbal elation, stimulation, share our situation, temptation, education, and relaxation, elevation. Or maybe we could see a movie, or maybe we could see a play on Saturday, or maybe we could roll a tree and feel the breeze and listen to a symphony, or chill and just be. Maybe we could take a cruise and listen to the roots, or maybe eat some passion fruit, or maybe cry to the blues, or maybe we could just be silent. Yeah, 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 yeah. we could see a play on Saturday. Or maybe we could roll a tree and feel the breeze and listen to a symphony. Or chill and just be. Or maybe we could take a cruise and listen to the roots. Or maybe eat some passion fruit. Or maybe cry to the blues. Or maybe we could just be silent. Come on, let's take a long walk around the park after dark. Find a spot for us to spark conversation, verbal elation, stimulation. Share our situation, temptation, education, and relaxation, elevation. Or maybe, baby, maybe we could save a nation. Come on. Come on. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Come on. Yeah. Come on. Or maybe we could see a movie, or maybe we could see a play on Saturday. Maybe we could roll a tree, feel the breeze, listen to a symphony, or chill and just be. Maybe we could take a cruise, listen to the roots, or cry to the blues.
Yes. Thank you. Aloha. Thanks for having us. Mahalo. Yeah. All right. It was one of my favorite Ella Fitzgerald tunes. She sings it with Louie. Next time we'll get Louie in the studio to sing it with me. Yeah? Okay, he was busy, so. All right, next song we're going to do is called Body and Soul. And Tony Bennett and the late Amy Winehouse did an amazing cover of this tune, so I can only hope that I do it a little bit of justice. My heart is sad and lonely. For you I sigh, for you, dear, only. Why haven't you seen it? I'm all for you, body and soul. My life a wreck you're making. For you I sigh, for you, dear, only. Why haven't you seen it? I'm all for you, body and soul. I can't believe it. It's hard to conceive it that you turn away romance. Are you pretending it looks like the ending
chance to prove, dear, my life a wreck you're making. You know I'm yours just for the taking. I'd gladly surrender myself to you, body and soul. To conceive it, that you turn away romance. Are you pretending it looks like the ending? Or could I have one more chance to prove, dear, my life a wreck you're making? You know I'm yours just for the taking. I gladly surrender myself to you, body and soul.
The next song we're going to do is my favorite Frank Sinatra tune. And he has so many good tunes, so it's really hard to pick your favorite, but this one's my favorite. Someday, when I'm awfully low, when the world is cold, I will feel a glow just thinking of you and the way you look tonight. Yes, you're lovely with your smile so warm and your cheeks so soft. There is nothing for me but to love you just the way you look tonight. With each word, your tenderness grows, tearing my fears apart. And that laugh that crinkles your nose touches my foolish heart. Lovely, never ever change. Keep that breathless charm. There is nothing for me but to love you and the way you look tonight.
my fears apart. And that laugh that crinkles your nose touches my foolish heart. Lovely, never ever change. Keep that breathless charm. Won't you please arrange it? 'Cause I love you and the way you look tonight. Just the way you look tonight. Just the way you look tonight.
Yeah. Okay. This next song is from an artist from my home state of Texas, Miss Nora Jones. And, well, I think this was maybe like her second release or third release, maybe. Another tune I love.
Come away with me in the night. Come away with me and I'll write you a song. Come away with me on a bus. Come away where they can't tempt us with their lies. And I wanna walk with you on a cloudy day in fields where the yellow grass grows knee high. So won't you try to come away with me and we'll kiss on a mountain top. Come away with me and I'll never stop loving you. With the rain falling on a tin roof, while I'm safe there in your arms. So all I ask is for you to come away with me in the night. Come away with me.